Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Thankful Thursday, January 18th, and we are back. Did you guys miss me? Monday, we interviewed Collins Ijaki, all the way from Nigeria, and we talked fashion, but we are back. We have two amazing interviews to wrap up this week, Fashion Dolls. I know it seemed like it was very short, but we're going to be back on schedule, all right? Our very special guest has been on the show on season 17, and he's back today so that we can catch up and see what he's been up to in the new year of 24. So without further ado, let's welcome our very, very, very special guest. He needs no introduction. Ethic the John. And hey, brother, shout outs to my brother, the K2 Spot. Make sure you guys please go and subscribe to his channel and check out his talk show, the K2 Spot. Amazing, amazing platform. Damn, I look good today. Special thanks to Melanie Nella, my Burgers. I wanted to do something a little bit different than what I would normally do. This season, you're going to get so many things with me. So I'm so happy. Feels great to be back. So let me add my guest, and hopefully it works, because Monday's show we had some tech issues, and I hope IG has worked on it. So let's hope it works this time. There we
Oh, there
are.
we go. I remember last time we was having issues.
Yes. How are you, stranger?
I am
Welcome back
doing
to the
great.
dollhouse.
Yeah, thank you
Well,
for having me once again.
first and foremost, I want to say happy 2024. We made it because we did our very first interview for season 17 in
That's right.
2023. So, before we get into your project, because you have a lot that is coming up,
Yeah.
how did you celebrate and ring in 24?
Honestly, I was working mostly, so I really didn't get into it too much. I was mainly just working. I was busy, so I didn't really get into it too much.
What about Christmas and Thanksgiving? How did you celebrate those before we headed into the new year, 24?
Thanksgiving, I was actually in England. I was still in England for Thanksgiving. So I spent it there, with my friends there in England. So I spent it in England.
Definitely a difference than down here in the Carolinas, because I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
you've heard we had a tornado down here, and we was driving all through town having to do shortcuts because they are still repairing buildings down here, you guys, like a lot of historical
See, that's
landmarks. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it on the news where buildings were literally torn down, bricks everywhere. And today, before our interview, I was cleaning up some of the backyard because we have a lot of branches. We have a lot of trees in our backyard, and there's a lot of branches everywhere. So the tornado has definitely caused some destruction down here in the
see, I know
Carolinas. But I'm
how those are
luckily
too.
I'm okay. And that same exact day that it happened, the day before, I had an interview, and that interview was with Justin M. Goodwin. So he checked on me because we had people losing power and everything. It was crazy, but we are okay down here in the Carolinas now. They are still cleaning up. So definitely,
That's
nobody
good
got
that you
hurt.
guys are okay, because that stuff can be detrimental. I'm from
Absolutely,
Oklahoma, so I'm used to it. We get tornadoes all the time, so I've seen it a lot. I've seen power
absolutely.
cords through trees and all kind of stuff.
Yes. So on a lighter note, 24. This year,
The new
you
year,
have a lot coming up. You've got one project that is in post production. Well, three that are
yeah.
already in post production that wrapped. So, what are you looking for this year in 24 besides this project?
So honestly, this year in 2024, I'm really looking for elevation. This is an elevation year for me. Um, I spoke about it a lot last year. I already knew what was to come, so I kind of was prepping last year for what's coming this year. We have a lot of projects coming and things like that. I'll be traveling a lot, but I'm really just looking for elevation this year. I have a few opportunities that I've seen so far, so I think that this year is definitely going to be the year of elevation as far as my career and everything like that.
And it's also award season. We just had the Critics' Choice, we just had
Yeah.
the Emmys. I mean, countless award shows. I couldn't keep up with them all. I focused a little bit on the fashion. You guys have seen it, but we've had so many award shows coming up. So I'm bringing this up for a reason. Ethic knows
Right.
why. So, with all of your projects that you've done throughout your career, what what how can I say? What are you looking forward to for all of your hard work?
Honestly, just to see the end result, really, because all of that hard work has to amount to something. So really, just seeing that end result. Of course, it doesn't stop there. That's just it's going to begin to something else. But really, just looking at the end result, all the movies, and because I haven't seen any of them, so I'm waiting to see when they all come out. So all the hard work is going to amount to something. So I really just want to see the end result of it. I
Yes,
mean, if I pick up a couple words along the way, then I add them to the others. But hey, that's just a bonus. We do it because it's what we love doing.
and and so many amazing films that are out right now. We talked about this on Monday's show with Collins about the future of the movie industry and
Right.
technology for you as an actor. What are you, man? What are you looking forward to the most in this year of 2024? Because I think we talked about Marvel in the previous episode as well too,
Right.
and how they're going to transition with this period of this new AI technology and how we're going to work through this, how we're going to get through this.
Yeah,
So, what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I
What were
think
you?
it's interesting. I mean, they're changing a lot in the film industry. Honestly, it's like they're putting too much on the AI and all of that. It's not as much of talent as it used to be because they have all these enhancements and AIs, and so I think they're getting away from the craft a little bit when you add too much to it. Um,
This AI is scary, and I
yeah,
say that because there's so, and I talk about it all the time. There's so many artists out here that are no longer here. One of my favorite is Michael Jackson.
oh yeah,
Always will be
the
Michael
greatest.
Jackson. I love Aaliyah. I love Left Eye. They can easily take their voices because they each had their own distinct voice and make a record sound just like them. And there's channels out here. If you go on YouTube, if you go
Right.
everywhere, there's channels out here and you can listen to it and you be like, oh my God, we've come a long way
Yeah.
from way back when, where we would have to, if we wanted to record something, we would call our voicemail and we record something. We've come a long way since then. So technology has then improved for this year, 2024. And I say it all the time. I can predict flying cars. And someone in the comments on one of my one of the interviews said, "Well, Miss Stevie, we already got it." So I said, "Yeah. Well, what else is next?
I can
What
see that.
what
I
else
can see that for
is
sure.
gonna be next?"
I don't know. I feel like they're moving a little too fast because, I mean, with the AI and everything, you're starting to see robots and all kind of stuff. It's like
Yeah.
you're making superhumans, and I think it's a little too much because now, when it gets to the point of that, making robots and they're interacting with us, it's kind of almost messing with what God made natural, with humans, and then now you have robots, and and I think that's just a little too much. I think that they're trying to advance that movie. I Robot. That's not just a movie. That's what's going to happen if we continue this path. I mean, we've already had some instances in other countries where they tried to turn off AI and it turned itself back on and turn on other AIs. So that movie, I Robot, that's what's going to come if we continue down this path with the technology.
I'm glad you brought that up because we've seen clips of you literally in the gym training for
Yeah,
films. Like you do this. You are an award-winning martial artist. And this is real time. I'm pretty sure you and China do your own stunts and everything.
right.
China McCoy, who
Yeah,
was
I
in The
do all my own
Matrix.
stuff.
Uh, both of you do your own stunts in real time. So with these robots, what are you predicting as far as the machines that are coming along that can help produce? I mean, what are they going to be doing with the film directors and producers? These machines,
Honestly, he might
like, are
replace
actually
us.
flying.
I mean, eventually they're probably going to replace us because, they're cheap. They don't have to pay the robots. So I think eventually that's probably what's going to happen. They're probably just going to replace all of us with that, because it would save them more money and time. So I think eventually that's probably what's going to happen.
That's the scary part because we've seen, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it as well with
Yeah,
these vacuums that vacuum your house. You don't even like we would
yeah.
do it the old fashioned way growing up, we'd
That's
have to push the
basically
vacuum.
AI.
But yeah, it does it itself, and then you tell it a command, it'll turn off itself, it'll do all of these things. Like we've come a long way with technology,
Right,
touchscreen phones, touchscreen computers, we've got it all. So we've seen the shift of the new generation of items that are coming out, and that's what I think in Hollywood. And shout outs to Kwame Speaks Pyro Media.
right,
He brought up an excellent point on his platform Pyro Media. He was talking about the Marvel verse. A lot of actors that are in the Marvel verse, that superheroes.
right.
What are you predicting is coming next in this year, or probably the next decade for Marvel?
I do think that we're going to start to see a lot more black characters because of Black Panther, and you got even Creed. I think that Marvel is becoming more popular because they're starting to make black characters. So now the audience is going to be a little more diverse, and it's bringing a different audience to it now. So I think that we'll see more black action figures and things like that as well with the Marvel. It's becoming a lot more popular.
Absolutely. And this generation is starting to grow up. Like I grew up on Catwoman,
Right.
Batman, Superman, Carmen Sandiego. She was one of my
Oh
favorites
yeah.
growing up as well too. Like so many. We're starting to see people that grew up on these characters that I just named. We're starting to see a more mature side. It's not going to be like how it was back then. You're starting to
Right.
see it be more mature. So it's TVMA. So we're starting to see that shift of the next generation start to get it as well too, and pick up on these comic books and superheroes and action figurines and Comic Con events and so
Right.
many things in this year of 24. So that's what I'm predicting as well too. So I'm looking forward to see what's coming in this year of 2024 film wise. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of projects,
It's gonna
and
be a lot of great films.
yes, you have three that you've already wrapped in post production. So out of
Yeah.
the three, because I can give the names, Folded and Gray, Double Cross, and Regan. Out of these three projects, which one are you looking forward to the most?
Probably Double Cross because that's the action film, and I had the most fun doing that. And I want to see how, because I didn't see all the other production and everything with that one, so I want to see how their scenes went and their fight scenes. I haven't seen any of it, so I'm looking forward to that one the most. I want to see my fight scenes because I did all my own stunts. I wrote most of the fight scenes, so I think that that's going to be most interesting to me. I want to see how they, if they did their job and unpackaged it correctly. So we're going to see. I think that'll be out in the summer.
All right, so we got to stay tuned for that. Now, you've talked about 2024 being the year of elevation for you.
Right.
What previous dream throughout your career, because I'm pretty sure we've all had dreams and ambitions. Like I talk a lot about creating vision boards and things. I have my vision board already set, and I'm seeing people starting to get on trend and create theirs as well too. What previous dream that you've had in your lifetime, or just memory that you see the meaning throughout your career to come true?
Honestly, a lot of them with my fight career and also with my film career. In the fight career, it was, win world titles, Hall of Fame, and I did that. And with the film, meet Tyler Perry, work with him, and all these other people, it's coming true. Also, one thing that I'm focused on this year as well, I'm actually writing my own feature film right now. I have a team of writers as well, and we're almost done with it. We have the first rough draft. We're going to be pitching that with Netflix, Tyler Perry, and some other people. So I'm looking forward to that. I can't drop too many details right now, but it's going to be big. So we're working on that. So I'm really proud of that because this is my project. And I've been working on it for about 4 years now, and I just haven't said anything. But it's this year. It's coming.
So you're stepping, that was going to actually be my next question for you. So you're stepping from in front of the lens to
Right.
behind the lens. What was it like for you stepping behind the lens and working on this project that you've been creating for 4 years to
It
now
was
come?
interesting because I had to switch gears and become a writer also. So I think it made me a better artist too, because the writers are artists, the directors are artists. So when you mix them, you just become a better package. So it made me better as well and strengthen other aspects of my art. So, but I'm really looking forward to it because this is going to be something I've been working on for a long time. And I'm also going to be starring in it. It's written around kind of my personality a little bit. So it's going to be, I'm very proud of this project because I've been having meetings for 3, 4 years now and getting it all together with my writers. And so it's going to be a big project. That's coming this year. There'll be a bigger
Okay.
update soon.
All right. So you've got a film that's going to be dropping in the summer. Make sure you guys are staying tuned and following. I'm
Definitely.
pretty sure Epic can't give away a lot of everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So
post a
just make
little
sure that
bit
you
of
guys,
updates, but not too much.
yeah. So make sure you guys are following him. My next question for you, it ties into power.
Right.
How can a single moment have the power to change everything? How would you think about
That's a greit question because that's all it takes is one moment because you can get 20 no's and one yes, and your whole life can change. So I think that's the best way to really look at that. You know, all it takes is one yes, and your whole life can change.
it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I'm pretty sure that you being in a martial artist, what book would you recommend that has had the most significant impact on your life that you've read?
I would probably say Rich Dad Poor Dad because that teaches you a
Mm,
lot about business and a lot about money. And when you really understand that, then you can really set up your business and everything better. Because even with acting, that's a business. So reading that book definitely gave me a better level of understanding with money and how all that works. So that was probably the most significant book, besides, of course, the Bible and the Quran and all of that.
all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And I was just Turning Point Ministries. They sent me a booklet, and I highlighted a couple
Oh
Bible
yeah,
verses out of that as
you
well
gotta
too.
you
So
gotta stay in your book.
yes, all the time. And shout outs to Julian J, who is coming on the show next month. And I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the announcement. Keith Boykin, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be in the dollhouse with me. You guys have seen him all over CNN and BET. He is going to be here to talk about his new book next week.
Nice.
So make sure you guys tune in as well.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
watch it too. I'm gonna be tuning
Yes, I'm excited.
in.
I'm pretty sure you guys have seen his videos and things. He has been on it. So I'm super honored to be doing this interview with Keith. So make sure you guys tune in next week. And shout outs to photos by Madeline. She writes for the magazine publication that I write for, the
Nice.
fashion part. Original Magazine UK. So make sure you guys tune in. By the way, Paris Fashion Week is kicked off. And I've already started posting some of the looks from the fashion shows. You can check it out here on my feed and check it out also in Style by Stevie as well too on FB. So just had to throw those plugs in there.
Nice.
Now,
I'll be looking too.
what is one thing you would regret not doing in your life? If you could go back, what is one thing you could regret not
Regret not doing? Honestly, really just getting started sooner with my career because I think that if I would have started maybe 2 years sooner, I would be even further. So other than that, nothing really. Everything happens on God's plan. So I don't really have any regrets as far as that.
doing? Yes. And to anybody out here who feels a little discouraged, like, well, I didn't feel like I wanted, it's never too late to
Never.
follow your dream. It's never too late to follow your passion. And that would be the best advice that I would give to anybody who's looking to get into any field, whether it is, I know my brother is going to school, he's trying to work on planes. He wants to learn how to work on
Nice.
airplanes. I know we chose two different career paths, and one thing that I'm thankful for growing up because I have four brothers and I have two sisters, and out of all of us together, we've all chose our own career niche and career path.
Right.
I know my sister. She's doing her thing. She's a writer. She's an author. Me, I decided to choose looks and books and fashion and beauty. And that's what you guys know me mainly for. But we all chose our path. And that's one thing I can thank my parents for. My mom specifically is she let us choose what we wanted to do. And at any age, it's never too late. And to the parents out here that watch the platform, because I'm pretty sure, yes, parents watch the show as well too, and they get encouragement. So encourage your kids. Let them go on their own path and let them find their way. That's the best way to do it. Because if they go out here and they do something and they don't like it, they're not going to want to do it. Let them decide what they want to do. Let them choose their career path and get their feet wet in whatever it is that they want to do. I know at one point I wanted to do culinary arts, but I said I'm gonna just stick to cooking one thing, and that one thing is that macaroni. And
There
the
you
only
go.
thing I'm gonna continue to bake is my face when I do my makeup, and that's it. So that's it. But follow your path, follow your passion. It's never too late to follow your dreams. Now, we talk a lot about purpose and passion as well too here on this platform.
Right.
Ethic, what is some advice and pointers that you would give to other athletes, other up and coming athletes and martial artists as well too on passion and purpose? Because I know that doing martial arts, it takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of
Right.
athleticism to do what you do.
Right. I would say the main thing is staying focused because
Absolutely.
there's way too many distractions. And even me, I've fallen off a few times and got distracted, was in training, and being a martial artist is a part of who we are. So you got to stay focused. It's too easy to get distracted and do other things, and you have to do it correctly because if you don't, you're going to start losing that passion. And once you lose that passion, I don't care how skilled you are, you're going to lose or it's just not going to go how it's supposed to go.
That's another thing, fear. And I'm so glad that you said distractions. When you said that, you made me think of another great
Right.
martial artist and stuntman and acting coach, Choice Skinner. I'm pretty sure you've heard of
Yeah,
Choice.
for him.
Choice said that when we did our interview. He said the best way, someone asked him, how do you handle negativity? He says, distraction. Never
Yeah.
let something distract you from your purpose of where you need to go. And I'm going to read what Madeline said. Madeline says, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to learn my two daughters. I will always support them in anything they choose. Right. And a lot of parents are starting to let their children decide what they want to do career wise. I have a nephew now. So if my nephew comes to me and says, okay, Aunt Stevie, I want to do hair or I want to go to barbering school, I'm going to support
Right.
that. And I'm pretty sure that his parents are going to do the same as well too. My brother and my little baby sister are going to support that as well too. So you have to let them learn, train them up young and let them know whatever career field that they decide to go into. Just make sure that you are monitoring and watching them along the way and guiding them in this industry. Whatever everything that's going on in the entertainment business, make sure that you are mentoring the right way. Make sure that you are there every step of the way. A lot of people started off young in this business. I mentioned Michael Jackson a lot here. Prince, they all started off very, very young.
Right.
If you want to sing, dance, act, Debbie Allen is another one. If you want to start off in this entertainment business, it starts in the school plays. It starts
That's
going
right.
to college for film and theater. And I've sat with so many amazing actors such as Ethic and so many others who went to college, who won awards, who've done things for this to get into this business. They put their blood, sweat, and tears into it because this is their passion. And this is what they wanted to do ever since they were young. And you wouldn't believe some of the stories from people saying, well, I started playing piano at 5 years old. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. I was playing with Ninja Turtles. I don't know.
me,
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
me, it was watching my grandmother, my mom do hair in the kitchen. That's how I learned. And then
Right.
I just went on throughout my high school years and took beauty schools and excelled from there. So my parents have always supported it. My mom specifically, even when she tries to get borrow one of my wigs or get a new hairstyle. So, yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Sounds about
gotta
right.
love it. But oh my goodness, we talked a lot about passion and purpose. Now, what's next? You've got your projects. What is going to be coming during the summer? you're producing a project, and you're starring in it as well
Right.
too. So what's next for Ethic?
So right now, what I'm working on currently, I'm actually getting ready for some upcoming fights. I'll be going back to England February 4th to be fighting again. Also, in June, I'll be fighting in Germany for another world title. So those are the
Hmm.
few things in that world that I'm getting ready for, and just fights in general. That's a big focus right now as well. I try to balance it with the film and the fighting. I kind of just take my time with it so I can balance it. So yeah,
And
that's
I was about to say this. What I love about you is your determination and dedication to what you do. And I've watched the story you posted where you literally, this guy right here, I mean, is in the gym
put in
training
the work.
hard. It's no joke. You are a beast in the gym,
I'm trying,
and we've seen
man.
you. So I'm excited to see what you have for this year coming up and your project that you are not only starring in, but you've stepped behind the lens as well too. And I was going to ask you that, I think, in our first interview, but it just literally, we had such a great conversation.
Right.
But to see you now shift from actor and martial artist to now direct and produce is incredible. And that was also something I wanted to ask you is balance. How do you balance out both with acting and then directing, stepping behind the lens?
I think that it's really just how you tie it into each other because either way they bounce off of each other. They tie into each other. So if you have an understanding of both, then it makes it easier to balance that and tie them in together because you understand what's necessary for both jobs and the requirements. So just understanding, have a good understanding of what you're doing. That's what helps me to be able to balance it and tie them in together.
Absolutely. So, do we have any questions for myself or Ethic Fashion Dolls? I'm having such a great time. It feels great to be back
Back
after that
once
little
again.
break I took. Yes. Now, spring, I'm ready for the spring to get here, you
Me
guys,
too.
because it is
It's too
cold
cold.
down
I
here
don't like
now
it.
in the winter season. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are ready for the spring to get here as well, also, too. So, do we have any questions for myself or Ethic before we conclude this amazing conversation? Now, we have another amazing actor. I'm sitting with one great actor today, and we have another great actor coming on tomorrow. Tyrone Betters joins me tomorrow as well, too.
Nice.
And hopefully we'll be back to schedule this week. The biggest announcement I just made, you guys have seen it. Keith is coming on the show next week to talk about his book, which is, I've read some of it today, and boy,
It's like
that's all I'm gonna say is,
that.
boy, Keith is, what I love about him is he's so unapologetic. And shout outs to Will Preston, because I'm gonna hopefully get him back on the show as well too soon. He says Keith takes it there and says everything that we as Black people, as people of color, are thinking. And we've clearly seen that on CNN and so many other platforms. So I can't
Cat
wait
Williams.
to, yeah,
He definitely said everything. He let it out the bag. Yeah, he said everything.
I, let me touch on that real quick before we wrap up because we don't have any questions or anything.
I like Cat. He's a cool
One
dude.
thing,
Even working with him,
yeah,
he's pretty cool.
that is talent in itself. To be able to sit there and not stand up on stage in front of an audience, but people are watching.
Yeah.
Millions of people worldwide are watching. I mean, he sat there. Jessie Wu, shouts to her. She had me cracking up. She said, "I don't know who can sit in a chair for an hour with a shot of whatever he had in his
Right.
glass and just spew everything." It was, he went there. But one thing
He
that I
sure did.
love that he brought up is, for me as a Black woman in this business, he touched on it. And he touched on what Taraji and Monique were talking about.
Yeah.
And that is
I'm
the
very glad that
cadence.
they touched on that because people don't understand, with this business, exactly what Taraji said, that's what it is. Because everybody wants to be a movie star. They think, okay, I'm gonna make all this money, but the math ain't math. You're going to get half of that as taxes, and not only do you have regular taxes, you have SAG taxes. You got to pay your team, so it really is like that. If you're not making $10 million, then I mean you could pretty much make what a regular person makes, honestly, because of how they break it up.
And Michael Baisden, you guys know Michael Baisden Radio, he posted this picture, this chart where it was Taraji on one side and how much she made compared to another actress that is a non-black
It's a
actress.
big
And the non-black
difference.
actress made way more than her. And it's not only happening to us as black women, but it's happening to men in Hollywood as well too. Like Terrence Howard spoke out about it for
Oh yeah,
Hustle
I
and
watched
Flow.
what he said too. It's really ridiculous, honestly. Like they don't even try to hide it. They can do what they want and they know it, so they just and they know who is who in the acting world, and that's why you call them to do the job. I'll pay them what they're worth, but that's how it goes.
Viola Davis touched on it. She said, if you call me the black Meryl Streep, pay me like it.
Exactly, and because she's definitely, I feel like Viola Davis is probably the greatest to me, the greatest actress of all
Yes.
time, and she definitely should get paid like it because there's nobody that's better than Viola Davis. There's not another one. So you know, Angela Bassett probably is probably in the same boat. Honestly, she just hasn't spoke out yet, but I'm sure she's in that same boat.
Uh, Being a black woman in this business, I understand that you are not going to be paid the same amount as your non-black counterparts. And
Right.
that's what I've come to realize. Even my male counterparts, I'm not even going to be making the same amount as them. So it's still an issue, and I'm going to keep continuing to touch on it because people need to know. We just got out of the
Right.
writer strike back in 2023, the actor strike. If that shouldn't teach us nothing, it should teach us to be vocal about it and speak out.
Yeah.
Call
Got to
it to
bring
the front.
awareness to it. Yeah, because a lot of people don't know. I mean, how if you don't say anything, then they're not going to know. You have to bring awareness to the situation, and eventually, we can have some resolution.
Absolutely. But yeah, I, Cat Williams, yeah.
He,
That
uh,
interview I texted my girlfriend about it. Felicia, shout outs to her. I said, girl, did you see the Cat Williams interview? And then she was asking me about it. I said, no, I didn't see it. I'm hearing what, and then people were
I
posting. I'm like, why
watched the
are people
whole
posting
interview.
pictures of Cat Williams? And I'm seeing all of his pictures on the timeline and stuff. And then I go and I watch the clip and I say, oh,
Yeah.
he took it there and he held no punches back. But one thing I can appreciate him for
Hmm.
is speaking up for us as black women and saying, hey, why are they not getting the same amount that we are
Right.
getting? Why are there pay disparities? Like, it's amazing.
You got to respect Cat because it's not easy to come out and say these things and speak out about people because, especially when there's consequences. So that's why I really respect him for that because there's going to be consequences. You can't speak freely, and if you're
Yeah.
in the public eye, they hold you to a certain standard when it comes to anything negative. So you can't speak freely. You can't say certain things. You can't talk about this. You can't talk about that. So the fact that he did it, knowing that there's consequences, you got to admire that.
And so
Yeah,
bluntly,
he
he
didn't
did it
care,
so
and he came for
bluntly without
everybody.
a care in the world. And I'm just like, wow. I went back because it was like, what, an hour
Hmm.
long interview? And even Shannon himself
He was
was
like,
flustered by it.
yeah, that one was that's probably the best one he's had on his show. That's the first time I've watched a whole interview that's like 2 hours because
Let
he
me
was
read some
very
of you
entertaining.
guys' comments about it. Chandler says, thankful for our friendship growing up. Keep killing it. One trainer, Simone, ask for what you think you are worth. If you don't, the next one will end up getting it. Exactly.
That's right. That's
Exactly.
my mama.
And hi, mom. And that's for people of color across the board, across the diaspora, black people in general. We are worth so much more because of the contributions that we have to this country, especially in the entertainment
Right.
business. The sacrifices that actors like Hattie McDaniel, Sidney Poitier, and Harry Belafonte and Diane Carroll, so many others paved the way for the next generation of the actors out here, the Ethel Johns, the Holly Berrys, the Octavia Spencers out here.
Right.
So we're still fighting. This is still a fight for us as Black creators, Black uh, filmmakers, Black producers, Black writers. So shout outs to the ones out here that are employing us and giving us an opportunity to be seen as well as.
That's right. I think one day eventually I want to have my own studios because I want to be able to give our people opportunities and like kind of like Tyler Perry, but it's not like people think it is because he's not just going to find people off the street, you know, because a lot of
Right.
people have a misconception like you still got to be qualified and things like that. But you know, I want to give our people opportunities and actually pay them what they're worth, not like he said and oh well, I paid her the most she ever been paid. Well, did you pay her what she was worth, or just more than what she's seen before? So you know, I want to give
Absolutely.
that opportunity to our people.
100%. 100%. And that is important that a lot of actors continue to speak up. Because for me, watching that clip of Taraji just break down on the height
Yeah,
of this film, The Color Purple, which sold out in box offices worldwide. People went to go see it when it dropped on Christmas. It was
right.
major.
I
And
still need to go see it.
to hear her just break down in tears and not get her work, it broke my heart as well too. It was very triggering for me. I hate to see other women, as a woman, to see other women
Right.
just hurt. So it hurt me too. But I've always been speaking out about it on my platform. Even when I do my girl talks on here, I ask other women, how do you feel about women, us not getting more than getting the same amount as our male counterparts?
Right.
And they've said it's sad. Cinda Williams, and you guys have seen her alongside Holly Berry with introducing Dorothy Dandridge, and then she did Into Deep, I think, with LL Cool J. I interviewed her years ago, and I asked her the question about it too, and she said it's sad. It's sad that we as women don't get the recognition that we so gratefully deserve in this business, and that our male counterparts are not even making the same amount as the. I mean, it's a lot of racism in the industry as well too. And now it is coming to the surface. It is coming to
Yeah,
the
it is.
forefront, and I appreciate people like Cat Williams for bringing that out. I appreciate people like Monique for bringing it out, and even Sherry Shepherd when she was hosting on The View, she got asked about the pay salary, and I think it was Whoopi Goldberg or one of the girls told her, "This is how much you should be making." That's what we got to do in this
Right.
industry and in this business is let the next person know, like, hey, these numbers don't look right. You need to be making this amount instead of this amount. And that's
Exactly.
what it takes is bringing it to the forefront and letting our brothers and sisters, our peers in the industry know that, hey, this is how much you should be making compared to that. So,
Right. And that's why I'm glad that
like,
Monique started that. And it's crazy because if you think about it, you know, sometimes it takes the right person to deliver a message. And I say that because if you really look at it, when Monique did it, people acted like she was just a problem. And,
oh,
oh,
yeah,
she's asking for too much. But then when Taraji said it, now it's really bringing more attention, you know. So I've looked at that and I noticed that.
absolutely. And shout outs to Reckless Logic. Reckless, he touched on this on his channel about the differences of when Monique spoke out about it
Mm-hmm.
compared to when Taraji
Because
spoke out about it. He
it
went
was
a
a
little
big
deeper,
difference.
but was spot on with it. So subscribe to Reckless Logic on YouTube. Reckless with an R, not a W. Reckless Logic on YouTube. And I've had Reckless here on the show as well too. So touched on it beautifully. But
You know,
make sure you guys please go and check that out. All right. Before we close out our amazing conversation, because we had to touch on that, Fashion Dog, ethic, final words of wisdom or encouragement that you would like to leave to people in this year? Because we made it. I can't believe we're here in 2024. I remember waking up to the text from everybody saying, Happy New Year, happy
Happy New
2024. I'm like, I'm asleep.
Year. Honestly, one thing that I would like to say is just bet on yourself because if you, who else is going to bet on you? I'm always going to bet on me because I know me. I know my heart. So bet on yourself always.
Absolutely. And this ties in also to ethics thought as well. Today's final thought comes from Issa Rae, and she says, embrace who you are now. Embrace what makes you different. If people don't like you for who you are, then those people aren't meant to be in your life.
That's right.
So you continue to keep speaking out on pay disparity. Keep speaking out on things that you see that are wrong in this industry and in this business in general overall. It needs to be brought to the front table because we're seeing all of these allegations, all of these things start to come out. I'm
Yeah,
not blind. I watch like a hawk. So
exactly.
I know exactly what's going on here in this business, and I think it is time for us as Black people to wake up. And these next few couple of, I want to say, months, well, when election time rolls around, it's going to be even worse for us. So everybody,
Yeah,
buckle up because these next few couple of months is going to be crazy. You are going to see some craziness out here. So make sure that you guys are protecting your mental health, protecting your peace, and cherishing it. And like Ethics Mom, Miss Trina, Miss Simone says, know your worth. Please know your worth. You are worth every minute of it. And I posted something this morning where I said it's all aligned. Everything is all aligning together for the better. So follow your purpose, follow your destination, and embrace what makes you uniquely you. And that is the final thought of the day, Fashion Dolls.
that's
So,
right.
Ethic, always a great time catching up with you. And I got to have you back in, I want to say, the summer when the project drops. We got
Yeah.
to set something up again. So, where can everyone check you out?
So I'm going to be posting more updates on my Instagram. But I do know for sure, Double Cross, that's going to be on Tubi, Amazon, also DVD. So look out for that. We will have a DVD. I definitely will have a copy. And if anybody inboxes me and ask about it, then I can send you an autographed copy. So make sure you stay tuned with that.
And you have a lot of fights coming up. So, where can people
Oh yeah.
purchase tickets? Where can people go
So
see you in action?
a majority of my fights are out of the country, but we do live stream on Facebook a lot of times. And if you do miss it, most likely I'll be posting videos. So here in February 2nd through the 4th, I'll be fighting again. I'll also be posting those videos on my platform, primarily Facebook at Ethic Dejaun, and then also my Instagram, Ethic_Dejaun. So they'll
And
get to see
Fabian
it.
Duncan, before we go, says, thank you for inspiring me. I really appreciate that.
Who did?
Fabian Dunstan.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I know him. Nice guy. I met him in Baltimore. Yeah, that's a dojo. Nice guy.
And I'm pretty sure my dad and brother are going to be checking out your, and my cousin, they are going to be checking out your fights. They love boxing, mixed martial arts. They love all of that.
Oh, we'll be
Me,
excited.
I'm more of a housewife. I'm a housewife's girl, so you can catch me bitch watching Real Housewives of Atlanta or
Right.
Potomac or stuff like that. When I'm not doing Style by Stevie, I'm doing that. And then Pandora's Box also returns tonight,
Oh,
so make sure you
nice.
guys subscribe to Pandora's Box on YouTube. Great show. You guys will not be disappointed. It is my now guilty pleasure. So make sure
I'm
you
gonna have
guys
to
go
check
and
that out.
I love you all, Fashion Dolls. And joining me tomorrow, we have Tyrone Betters. Make sure you guys tune in. It is finally Friday tomorrow. This week flew by so fast, y'all, in the year of 2024. So I'm looking forward to it. And we'll have the lineup and everything for next week up tomorrow as well, too. And I love you all. And Ethic, always great catching up with you. Happy to see you
Definitely.
again. And so proud of you. And I can't wait to see these projects that you have coming out for this year.
Thank you. I appreciate that for sure. We'll
Yes.
definitely do it again soon.
Yes. And keep me posted. All right.
Of course.
All right, Fashion Dolls. This is Miss Stevie signing off. I love you all, and I will see you guys sometime tomorrow at 4. Make sure you tune in with myself and Tyrone Better. I love y'all, and you guys subscribe to Style by Stevie Daytime. This is interview 553. So thank you guys so much for your love, your support, all of that, and just enjoying the platform. I'm going to continue to give you guys amazing content, amazing guests, and so much more in this year for this season. Take care, everyone.